Hey, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, we are talking about area of a circle given the radius. Now, in case you don't really know what area is, it's the amount of interior space that's enclosed by the circle. All right, so if I were to draw some lines on this circle here, this is all of the interior space or the inside of the shape that's enclosed by this circle. And that's what we're trying to find when we talk about area. Okay, and we do that by utilizing the area of a circle formula, which is area equals pi times the radius squared, which I have jotted down in the bottom left-hand corner for you. Just in case you forget it at any point throughout this video, it'll be there in the bottom left the entire time for you. Okay, and that's the formula we have to utilize. Now, breaking down the formula a little bit, pi is an irrational number. It's a number that just goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And we tend to approximate it by its first few digits, which is 3.14, right? Or else you'd utilize a number that just goes on infinitely. So we tend to just shorten it up with the first few digits, 3.14. Okay? Now for radius, or r, radius is half the length of a circle. Now if we take a look at the picture in number one, you're going to notice that we have a line that goes from the center of the circle to the right side of the shape. That's half the length of the circle, otherwise known as the radius. And in this case, our radius is 4 centimeters. And that's the number we're going to utilize when we're replacing r. All right, so let's take a look at number one. So we have area equals pi times the radius squared, right? And we know that for pi, we're going to be approximating it at 3.14. So instead of writing an equal sign after area, I'm going to put the approximately symbol here. Since we're not using the exact value of pi, we have to approximate our final answer because we're going to be off by a little bit unless we use the exact value for pi. So for pi, we have 3.14 times, and we know our radius, which is half the length of the circle. We can replace r with 4 to the second power. Okay, now we utilize order of operations, so we don't have any parentheses. Then we check for exponents, so we have 4 to the second power. This does not mean 4 times 2. I see people do this all the time. It really means 4 times 4, which is 16. So we have area is approximately, again, 3.14 still staying the same, times, instead of 4 to the second power, we have 4 times 4, which is 16. Now we just multiply them together. So we have 3.14 times 16. So if I pull out my calculator here, we have 3.14 times 16. And we get our area to be 50 and 24 hundredths. So area is approximately 50 and 24 hundredths. And for our units, we were utilizing centimeters. And when you talk about area, you have to make sure that you square your units of measurement. So our final answer, area is approximately 50 and 24 hundredths square centimeters. Now, if I was to use the exact value for pi, so if I just press pi here times 16, right, our exact answer would be 50 and 27 hundredths. So when we approximate it, it's going to be off by a little bit, not much, but typically I see problems approximating pi at 3.14, not necessarily utilizing all of pi, all right? Other types of problems that I see is leaving your answer in terms of pi. So what I mean by that is we're not going to put a number in for pi at all. So if I was to rewrite my problem, we have area equals pi, and we know 4 to the second power was 16. Notice how I don't have the approximately symbol there anymore because I'm not plugging in a value for pi at all. I'm just leaving pi like it is. Okay, so pi times 16 is really just 16 pi. We typically write the number in front of the pi symbol. So my final answer, if I wanted to leave it in terms of pi, would be area equals 16 pi, which is the same thing as 16 times pi. So you can utilize leaving it in terms of pi if the question asks you that, or you can approximate pi by using 3.14. So there's a couple different answers you can get depending on what the question is asking you. All right, so let's move on to number 2. That's it for number 1. So let me get the calculator out of the way here. Okay, we're going to do the same exact thing. So we're going to start off with our area formula, which we have area equals pi times the radius squared. Again, we're approximating pi at 3.14, so we have area is approximately 3.14 times the radius squared. In this case, our radius is 13 to the second power. Again, order of operations, we don't have any parentheses, so next step is to check for exponents, which we do. So we have 13 times 13. So again, we'll rewrite it. Area is approximately 3.14 times 13, which is 169. Then we'll multiply these together. So again, let's pull out our calculator here. So we have 3.14 times 169, which is going to give us a value of, let me just move this over here. Our area is approximately 530 and 66 hundredths. And in this time around, we are utilizing inches. So our answer is square inches. So 530 and 66 hundredths square inches. Now, if you wanted to leave this in terms of pi, our final answer would end up being area equals 169 pi. Again, not plugging any value in for pi at all. We would just do 13 times 13, which is 169, put it in front of pi, and that's our final answer in terms of pi, right? So that's it for the first 2 problems. Now, the next 2 problems that I'm going to show you are 2 problems I want you to try on your own, or otherwise known really as the practice session for you. Okay, so I encourage you to pause the video here, right? Try these problems out and see if you can get them right. Just grab a sheet of paper, right? Work through them. I got the formula down there in the bottom left for you. Same with what we're approximating pi as, 3.14. So pause it, try out 3 and 4, and then when you think you have the correct answers, play the video as I go over them and see if you got them right. So at this point, I'm assuming you have paused the video, you tried out 3 and 4, and now we're going to go over it. So again, it's going to be the same thing. So for number 3, we have area is equal to pi times the radius squared. And again, we're approximating, so I'm going to change my equal sign to approximately. And pi is 3.14 times the radius squared, so 7 squared. Again, exponents first, so we have area is approximately 3.14 times 49. And then let's multiply those together. So again, let's get the calculator, clear it out. We have 49 times 3.14, and we end up getting 153 and 86 hundredths. So we have area is approximately 153 and 86 hundredths. And our units of measurement, again, we have square inches. And if we wanted to leave it in terms of pi, our final answer would be area is equal to 49 pi. Okay, so hopefully you got the answer right for number 3, and let's move on to number 4. Again, let's move that calculator out of the way. And for number 4, again, let's start out with our area formula. We have area equals pi times the radius squared. Again, approximating it, so area is approximately 3.14 times the radius, which is 5 squared. Okay, exponent first, so we have area approximately 3.14 times 25. And then let's whip out our calculator here. We have 25 times 3.14. And we end up getting 78 and 5/10. So area is approximately 78 and 5/10. And this time we have square centimeters. And if we wanted to leave it in terms of pi, we have area equals 25 pi. Okay, hopefully you went 2 for 2 on these practice problems. And if you did well, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, Feel free to like, subscribe for future videos. And if you want to follow me on other social media, on Instagram and TikTok, I am posting shorter length math videos, just like minute or two snippets of topics. So if you want to go ahead and follow me, I'll leave those in the description as well. And hopefully you can do area of a circle given the radius just fine now, right? See you in the next video.